Sophie Cunningham blasts WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert for her comments about Caitlin Clark. Sophie Cunningham defends Caitlin Clark against unnecessary scrutiny from the WNBA Commissioner. In any professional sports league, differences of opinion between players and the top executives are inevitable. However, one thing that has generally remained true is that those in power consistently celebrate the league's biggest superstars. This is why recent news surrounding WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has stirred such outrage, wherein she was exposed for believing that all WNBA stars, including Caitlin Clark, owed their success to her. Opinionating on the matter, Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham is the latest to bash Engelbert as the most delusional leader the league has ever seen. Cunningham criticizes WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert for her ideology. Historically, commissioners across American sports have taken the opposite approach. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, or even NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell have each recognized the value of their top athletes and provided them a solid stage from a young age. Not only have these commissioners welcomed these young players, but they have also ensured they receive valuable media attention, marketing opportunities, and global exposure. This context is precisely why Engelbert's comments, as described by Nafisa Collier, have caused such backlash, especially when the commissioner keeps her best athletes on an inferior tier. Now, Cunningham, who is never shy about expressing her bold perspective, bashed Engelbert for becoming a leader no one wants to follow, stressing how such a mindset is damaging and detrimental for the WNBA's future. Moreover, for Cunningham, the notion that Clark or any other player should be treated as though they must constantly show gratitude to Engelbert for the platform they've earned through their performance and personality is absurd. Great leaders want to see other people be more successful than them. They want to make sure that they're cared for. I get it, she's the business side of it, but you can be respectful and treat your product, the product of why people are paying attention, why people are buying certain jerseys, treat your product with respect. Be a great leader, and she's not in any sense, Cunningham said on the latest episode of her Show Me Something podcast. The disrespect is just crazy to me. Cathy Engelbert has become the biggest villain of the WNBA. These remarks come at a time when WNBA players have been more vocal than ever about their value, their place in sports culture, and the respect they deserve. WNBA athletes have consistently strived to raise the standard for themselves and the league, advocating for fair treatment and visibility. Against this backdrop, Engelbert's reported stance appears regressive and undermines the progress that many players have fought for. Safe to state that her words have not only offended but also united the players in opposition. Now, the situation places Engelbert in an uncomfortable spotlight. With influential voices like Cunningham and Collier openly criticizing her leadership, pressure continues to mount. And it only remains to be seen if the WNBA finally gets a better leader, whose approach is player-centric rather than me-centric. The WNBA has long been a league of grit, growth, and a relentless push for respect, but the latest storm brewing off the court has fans and analysts glued to every word. Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham has never been one to hold her tongue, and this time, her fire is aimed directly at WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. The flashpoint? Comments Engelbert made about rookie phenom Caitlin Clark, remarks that Cunningham called dismissive, tone-deaf, and emblematic of the league's leadership struggles. At the heart of the controversy lies Clark, the generational talent whose arrival in the WNBA has sparked record-breaking ratings, sold-out arenas, and a wave of new fans. But when Engelbert suggested that Clark should feel grateful for the opportunity to play in the league, Cunningham pounced, calling the words not just poorly chosen, but reflective of a deeper problem. Grateful? Cunningham reportedly told reporters after practice. Caitlin Clark doesn't need to be grateful. The league should be grateful she chose to play here, because she's changing everything. She's the reason half these seats are full. She's the reason ratings are through the roof. You don't tell a player like that to just be grateful. You build around her. You protect her. You celebrate her. The statement lit up social media, where fans, athletes, and commentators piled on with reactions. Cunningham's comments didn't sound like idle criticism, they sounded like a rallying cry. The fire behind Cunningham's words. Sophie Cunningham has built her reputation on passion and authenticity. Whether she's diving for loose balls or delivering sharp takes off the court, she embodies a fearless voice in a league that has often struggled with visibility. Her critique of Engelbert wasn't random, it was the boiling point of a season-long tension between players and leadership. Cunningham argued that Engelbert's words revealed a lack of understanding about what players endure. Caitlin Clark, after all, has been the target of physical defenses, veteran pushback, and immense pressure as the new face of the league. Cunningham, standing shoulder to shoulder with her Fever teammate, made it clear that Engelbert's framing minimized Clark's impact. Caitlin doesn't owe the league anything, Cunningham added. She's carrying it. What she deserves is respect, protection, and leadership that lifts her up, not commentary that makes her sound like a rookie who should just smile and take it. Fans react. A league at a crossroads. Within hours of Cunningham's remarks, hashtags like #StandWithSophie and #ProtectCaitlin began trending on X, formerly Twitter. Some fans praised Cunningham for saying what many players have been thinking, that WNBA leadership has not always kept pace with the cultural momentum Clark and her peers are generating. One fan wrote, "Sophie said what everyone's been afraid to, the WNBA doesn't always know how to handle its stars. Caitlin Clark is bigger than the league right now, and they need to figure that out fast." Others criticized Engelbert directly, calling her out of touch and the most delusional leader in sports. A smaller group defended the commissioner, suggesting her words were taken out of context or that Cunningham was being overly dramatic. But the larger narrative was clear. The divide between players and leadership was widening, and Clark's name was the lightning rod. Why Caitlin Clark matters so much? To understand Cunningham's passion, one has to recognize just how much Caitlin Clark has shifted the landscape. From her historic college career at Iowa, where she shattered records and filled arenas, to her rookie season with the Fever, Clark has been nothing short of a phenomenon. The numbers speak for themselves. Attendance at Fever games skyrocketed, with away arenas selling out when Clark came to town. TV ratings hit historic highs, with networks rushing to broadcast her games nationally. Merchandise sales exploded, with Clark jerseys becoming instant bestsellers. In short, Clark hasn't just joined the WNBA, she has redefined its ceiling. For Cunningham, hearing Engelbert downplay Clark's influence by framing it as gratefulness felt like a slap in the face. This isn't about entitlement, Cunningham explained.